Hello, my crafty friends. How are you today? My name is Linda Edwards. I'm with an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator with Crafty Heron Designs. And I am going to show you how to make this fun fold card today. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And I love this extraordinary Flora washi tape. I'll tell you, it went on and off back order, much like the other video I did, the Cutest Crew bundle. And it's been over a year and I finally was able to get my hands on it. And I just love this card. So I hope that, that you do too. If you don't have the same materials that I have to make it, you'll still use what you have. So you can use different designer series paper, embossing folder, stamps, use what you have in your stash. But I'm here to tell you that this washi tape is just gorgeous. It is just beautiful. So there are two colors in the washi tape. This one's kind of the flirty flamingo strawberry slush variety. And of course I paired it with the golden glow, which I think picks up these little colors so well. And I think it's so pretty. But the one we're gonna make today is with the other color of the washi tape. So this is more of the pinks and the purples. So I'm excited to get started. And yeah, look at this envelope. Now you can't send it through the mail, but if you're hand delivering it to someone, I just added some of those ephemera pieces on the envelope. So I'm going to show you all about how you're going to do that. So let me set that aside. And I also want to show you, so this card was inspired by a birthday card that I received from a very good friend of mine, a fellow demonstrator, Shirley Day. Isn't this pretty? See, now she embossed this side and then used some different stamp sets. And look at this pretty detail here. Isn't that lovely? But same idea, some stamping, some embossing, and just lots of fun, beautiful accents, and love the colors. So thank you, Shirley, for your inspiration. And this is what I've come up with. So we're gonna use the Extraordinary Flora bundle where I'm actually just not actually using the stamp sets. I'm really just using the dies and the washi tape. But the stamp set has some wonderful sentiments in it and this little line. And you could stamp the washi tape with like gold embossing. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Or black, gives you a little outline. But we're not gonna do that today. And I'm also using the Scalloped Blooms bundle. I love the sentiments in this bundle. I've used this so much. We're gonna use Thinking of You, but look at that, it's long and that didn't fit. So I'm gonna show you a little trick for how you can get it to be a different shape. And this stamp set has all of these wonderful Scalloped Blooms dies, which we're gonna use. This is the fourth from the largest. So this is the one we're gonna use. And we're gonna use a punch. The 2 3/8 inch punch, circle punch, fits very well in there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you all the pieces for the card. So we're making this in my card class. I host card classes here in the Greensboro area. So if you're ever here, I'd love for you to stop by and join me. All right, so this card base, I'm using the two-tone cardstock because I wanted the colors to show. So I don't know if you can tell, this is the darker color and this is the light. So I'm using it with the lighter color facing up, and then when you turn that over and it flips, you get the darker color. It could go either way. But if you don't have two-tone, just use regular cardstock. It's not a big deal. It just, since I had it, I thought it was kind of fun. And because it's two-tone, I wanted some extra layers. Here, I should put this over here so you can see it. So this card base is 9.5 by 5.5. It's scored at 2 5/8 and 5 1/4. Now, I ran out of the old olive, which is what this one is. So I'm using Mossy Meadow. I think it works just as well. Actually, yeah, so this is the lighter side, it's the darker. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this and burnish it. If I can find what I did with my bone folder. There it is. So you fold in half and then back. So it's like a Z fold. I don't know what you call this with the little pop-out circle. I don't know. If anybody knows, put it in the comments, please. and I'll include that as the title in the video, because a lot of times when you're looking for a video, at least the way I do, is I might look for the name of the fun fold. So I'm going to try and figure that out and put that in the video. Okay, so that's your base. And then we're going to have layers. My next layer is the Golden Glow, 5 1/4 by 4. And then there's a layer of Very Vanilla. I just really liked the way the Very Vanilla looked with these, with this washi tape. So I've got a scrap piece of Very Vanilla, which is about 5 by 3 3/4, and that's what I'm going to use to put the washi tape on. I'll show you how to do that. And then I've got another, actually that's 5 1/2 by 3. Start over. 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay, so you can do half a quarter sheet of paper. 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. This one is 5 by 3 3/4 because it's going to go inside there like that. And then I have a scrap piece here. It needs to be about 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 because that's what we're going to do our circle. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and punch that out right now. And you will see I was practicing on there, so the other side's got some stuff on it, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to stamp on this. I'll get that off. I don't know, a little bit of stray something or other. So that's my little circle. And then this here, I don't know if you can see that little shimmer. There we go. Now you can see it. So this is the Luxe white paper. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? I just really like that, but it's really white. And because I'm using Very Vanilla, I just didn't like the way it went. So we're gonna do some blending to tone it down a little bit. But this, I just love that. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that first. I'm just gonna bring in my blending brush and the Golden Glow ink. You could blend it in green, or you could blend it in, you know, whatever color you could have done. You could do a pink. So I'm gonna pick up some ink, and I like to stamp it off or brush it off a little bit, and then I'm just going in circles. I do want it to be kind of on the edges. You see how that? So I am coming on and across. If you don't like those darker edges, then you just wouldn't run that blending brush across like that. So nothing fancy about this. Like I said, because I do want those edges, I am making sure to bring it back and forth over the edges, and then kind of come in the middle and just give it a little color. And I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it's really pretty. There we go. There's one. And so we need 2 of these. These are 5 1/4 by 2 3/8. So this could be designer series paper. It could be an embossed panel, or you could even just leave it blank and let the cardstock, the card base, be your guide. All right, let's see. Be your highlight or whatever. All right, and I chose to put 2 of them. Again, one would work, but you know, we have all this designer series paper. Let's use it. I'm so tempted to keep it when it's so beautiful, but that's so silly, isn't it? Why do I feel that way? Do you feel that way? All right, I want to use it up. There's always something new coming out, so let's see. Okay, there we go. I think you can kind of see that. Okay, I can always add more if I decide I need it. So this is, okay. So this is kind of the tricky part. We're gonna make the card base, and then I'll come in and show you, we'll make the washi pieces to go on it. So the big thing, of course, is this little mechanism here. So this is what we're gonna do. Set that aside. I'm gonna bring in my card base. I'm gonna layer that like that, but I am not going to attach it. I'm just gonna layer it there. Let me move that out of the way. And I'll bring in my die cutting machine and show you how to do this. But for now, I'm just gonna show you how I'm gonna line it up. So I've got my As a matter of fact, let's get some tape. So you can use just like a washi tape or a sticky, you know, something. I don't want it to be super sticky. So I'm kind of taking some of the stick off of it with my fingers. And I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of do that so that it stays stable a little bit. And what I want, you see how the scallops kind of come to a point there? I want those scallops to be on that fold. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So you see how I've kind of got it lined up. I've got that scallop, but I want that scallop down here because I'm only gonna go halfway through. I think I want one more. Let me look at this. I need to kind of rotate it so that, there we go. So it's pretty equal. So see how this part of the fold is on the fold, this point here, and then they're an uneven. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. I like that unevenness of that. I don't know why. I just do. So I don't want to put my tape over there because I want to make sure that I keep an eye on that. So I'm going to put my tape over there to hold it all into place. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. I know I'm going to have to bring it in twice because I'm gonna have to bring it in again with the washi tape. Let me move this over to the side. But, you know, maybe you are gonna do this without the washi tape, so I want you to see this part first. Okay. So I've got my sandwich, you know, plates 1, 2, and 3. Mine are well loved. 1, 2, 3. Let me pull this out a little bit. I mean, you'll still be able to see it, right? Okay, so now, I want my tape to go, I want it to go over, let's see, I have to go this way. I gotta remember how I did this. Because I only want, nope, I can't go that way. Push that in through. I'm only gonna put my plate to that halfway mark. Okay, so I'm lining up the edge of my plate with the fold of the card. Slide that out. I'm gonna come out and back because I only want to cut to that point. I don't want to cut through the other part of the card. Okay, did you see that? So I've got this plate kind of sticking out back here because it's only going to go through halfway. And then I'm going to go back. All right, let's check it and see if that worked. That off. That off. Yes. All right. Phew. You know, I did this. I made this card a while ago, and so sometimes I forget. I think that's how I did it. I think that's how it's going to work. And then you've got this other piece that you could do something fun with, right? So now I need to go, I can go ahead and attach that permanently there. So see how that's going to work? It's going to go, but it's going to go this way. Sorry. Oh, and see how that tore a little bit? I got a solution for you there. I don't like that, but that's one of the things that happens with the two-tone cardstock because there's a white center, but it's okay. I'm going to bring in my Mossy Meadow blends. And I'm going to color over that. If you don't have the blends, I'll do one with the blend and one with the other, and I'll show you what to do. I'm going to just use this side. Okay, this is the dark. Oh wait, I'm going to show you the other way. All right, and then if I bring in, this is Old Olive. I'm going to bring in the Old Olive and a blender pen. You need to have a blender pen in your stash because it can save you so many times from making a mistake. Okay, So this is a blender pen. They come 2 to a package. What is it? I thought maybe they'd have the number on here, but maybe I've covered it up. Anyway, they're called blender pens. Blender pen. And I just want to make sure there's nothing on it. That's how you clean it. And put a little ink on it. And then pick up some of the ink with the edge. And then I'm gonna, can you see this? I'm gonna just come over that, just like I did with the blend. And I'm just gonna color that over. So it'll be fine. You can't even see it. And then to clean it, you just do this. You just put it on your paper and kind of roll it. I'm turning it like that so that it gets all cleaned up. Now you see it's stained. It's not supposed to be dark like that. They're white. But I've used it so many times that it's stained, but it still works really well, as you can see. Okay, see, I like to show you solutions when things go wrong, because you know they don't always go right, do they? All right, so now I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that washi on there. I don't really need to, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it as a little bit of a guide for me on where this is gonna go. And mainly I'm just gonna butt it up to the end here. Okay, there we go. And I think I want a little bit more golden glow on there. Although that's going to be covered up, so that's kind of silly. Okay, and then there we go. So that's how you get that mechanism. And now the circle will go right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the circle. Well, let's put this on the inside first. And then I'll stamp the circle, and we will, I'll show you what to do with the washi. We'll decorate our card. So it's a really pretty straightforward card. And because the sentiment is thinking of you, I'm not gonna put any additional sentiment on the inside, because this could be birthday, it could be a sympathy card, it could be get well. I like that thinking of you sentiment because it's, you know, so versatile. So I like to kind of wait. So you could even not attach the very vanilla layer on the inside. You could wait and attach it after you decide what you know, who you're giving the card to. Okay, so there we go again. So our card base is done. Let's see, let's take this thing off. All right. And let's see, we've got some stamping. Let me show you the stamping now. Oh, I'm all cattywampus. That out of the way. So this is the thinking of you. I bring that old olive back here. So there's a lot of space between the G of the thinking and the O of the of. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get my ink on it on the edge of my pad. And I can see through that because it's photopolymer. So I can see that I haven't gotten anything on the O. And if I'm not sure, I can kind of just wash it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of center this on my paper just so that I kind of see where it is. And I wanna go a little bit top of center and a little bit off to the left with the thinking. And there's plenty of room here to work with. Oh, my G is a little off. That's okay. I'll show you. There's another use for the blender pen. All right. Now the of you. And this time I'm gonna ink it this way. I turned it over just because I'm right-handed and it's easier for me to go off this edge. But of course, I gotta remember to turn it back. And then the of you, I practiced this before I did it the first time on my paper so that I would know where that, you know, how close do I need to get with the of you. And so I kind of know where it's gonna line up, because that can be a little deceptive with a photopolymer stamp. And this time I'm making sure, yes, that time I got it all. All right, so, you know, you can just leave that K. It's not a big deal. But I want to show you, I'm going to bring in my blender pen again. I still have some ink in this, on that block. And so I'm going to start with the G. Let's see how I want to practice, because so I have a feel for how hard I want to press to get a really nice thin line, right? Because I don't want to make it look worse than it is, which is always the risk. There you go. I just kind of dotted it. I don't know if you could see that with the G because it was very light. This one, I don't know. Okay. I'm happy with that. I kind of dabbed at it. I didn't try to do a stroke. And it's not perfect, but it's close enough. I think it's fine. All right, I think it's better than it was, right? So I didn't make it worse. So that's the important part. All right, so now the washi. So I'm bringing in this piece of scrap. And again, it's a very vanilla, and it's about 3.5 by 5.5. And I went with the 5.5 for two reasons. One, because it's half a piece of cardstock, and this is gonna fit on there perfectly. And I went a little bit wider than the washi tape. So here's the washi tape. So I'm gonna try to get it so that it covers the entire sheet end to end. Let's see, I'm gonna need a pair of scissors handy, and I'm gonna bring in my big Fiskars because they're nice and long. And they're this titanium, so they're like non-stick, although my regular scissors would work, but they're a little shorter, so it's easier for me to do it with the big ones. The other thing I like to use is some kind of a straight edge, right? This is an old Amazon gift card. Sorry, it is no longer active, so don't bother trying to find the number. And I'm gonna start on the end. Let's see. I'm gonna start here. I wanna try and get it as straight as I can and as close to the edge as I can. And I'm standing and looking over the top. And it's a little bit forgiving, so maybe I'll go this way. I think maybe this way is easier. I've done it several times. You'd think we've got 3 different washis now, and I have played with all of them. Getting it started, I think, is the hardest part. Okay, there we go. That's better because now I can kind of see that straight edge there, so I know that I'm getting it on straight. And then you see I'm holding it on this side. I was looking over the top, so I knew that that's straight, and now I'm gonna kind of just bring it down. And it folded a little bit. So let's see, before I go any further, I'm gonna bring my straight edge and go like that. There we go. So get it started. You know, like wallpaper. Have you ever installed wallpaper? Okay, it's a little tight, so now I'm gonna basically just pulling off the edge, holding it down with my left hand, and spreading it out with my right hand. Now, I will tell you that if you get some wrinkles in it, it's not difficult to get them out. Not at all. So now I'm opening it up, and I really see where they transition here from the purple to the pink. That's where I want to cut it. And because I'm really trying to preserve the 2 colors, I'm being more cautious than I really need to. I mean, it really would not be that big of a deal if I cut through a little bit of that one and lost that one flower. But I don't want to lose any of them. So I'm going to cut this. I mean, what I probably should have done was cut it longer and then, no, I don't know. Anyway, here we go. And then I was able to just tear it. And then I come back in, and you can, I don't know if you can see there were a few little wrinkles there, and I'm just gently going over the end. Okay. And then I'm just gonna die cut that. So that's all on there. And there's a few wrinkles on the inside, but I don't really care. You can't see them. And then now this die cut is just gonna fit like that. And I'm gonna bring back that piece of tape, although it holds pretty well. Make sure it's all lined up. This one lines up really nicely. You know, sometimes they don't always, but I feel like this one lines up really nicely. Okay. And I just moved it. I'll have to recheck it when I get it back on the cut and emboss machine. Okay. Let's move that over. So tell me, do you like working with washi? Have you tried it before? This Stampin' Up's got, I think, 4 different washi tapes right now. They've got the this one got the green, maybe it's 3. Got the greenery, which is also really pretty, just all different colors of green. And then there's a new one that came out, Summer Splash, Summer Happiness. Adorable little summer ephemera. So sunglasses and, you know, pineapple and flip-flops and just the sun and flowers and a camera, just adorable. So we're doing something with that one as well in my class this week. So I do hold classes in Greensboro, Georgia area. So if you're ever out here visiting anyone at Lake Oconee, or if you live at Lake Oconee, come and see me. I'd love to have you join me for a class. We have a lot of fun. I've got a wonderful group of card makers and wannabe card makers for all experience levels. You don't have to have previous experience, or maybe you've been a scrapbooker, and we have a lot of fun. Okay, so these are all the pieces, and as I said, these are in the purples. So let's bring that back. And I've got the thinking of you, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and now we will assemble our card. There we go. And then I want you to tell me, well, there is one other thing I need to do. I want you to tell me what you think of the, if you have a preference, the purple versus the pink. All right, let's see. So we'll do that one. I want to bring in some of this green because it, this gold, I guess, is really what it is. See how this one's got a little more blue in it? But I want to make sure I bring in some of these pieces so that we get, it ties into the gold here. So I have to decide about do I want to stick with the golden glow? Or do I want to bring in, I think I do. I think I'm going to stick with, I could do the green. This is really cute. Now I think this one, this was on Last Chance the last time I looked. I think I'm going to go with the green. This is going to go here. I don't want to bring in blue. I don't have a good blue. I think I'm going to go with the green. So this is the Old Olive Specialty Rick Rack. It was in the bug set. So adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and put that around. And I went ahead and did it all the way around. I just thought it was kind of fun to go all the way. Yeah, it was on the Last Chance. I haven't checked it today. I don't know if it's retired already, but you know, with once it goes on Last Chance, that's what it means, right? It's only there until it's gone. So if you find something you like on that Last Chance list, don't miss out. And you know, Stampin' Up's been so popular lately that stuff has been selling out. So if you fall in love with something, do not wait. I would not be surprised if this washi tape goes on the discontinued list, because it's been over a year that they've had it. And like I said, it was in and out of stock for a while there. So we've got a new discontinued list coming out August 1st. So, and I'm just tying this into a knot. Oh my gosh, isn't that so pretty? Just love that. Now those ends will fray a little bit, but that's okay. I think it looks cute that way. So I'm gonna just there and maybe there. I can always make it shorter, but I can't make it longer. All right, that little end there. It's gonna go shorter. These are my fabric scissors. I don't let anybody mess with those. And then this is just gonna be layered. So I'm gonna put, let's see, this one's gonna be up on dimensionals. I'm gonna kind of alternate. The first layer, the bottom layer will be flat, but then this layer will be on the top. So I'm gonna set this down just so that I kind of know where it's gonna be. And then this one, I am gonna go on top of the rickrack. So I think I'm gonna use a glue dot to anchor that. So let's see. So this is gonna go about there. So I kind of just lay it out and play with it. So I wanna anchor this underneath here and it'll be hidden. And then I think I'm gonna use a glue dot for this too, because it's going on the on top of the ribbon. And it just does better with fabric. Glue dots work better with fabric than like a liquid glue or a, I want that to fit like in that little nook right there. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna put this in and I'll probably tuck some stuff underneath him. But I want that to be about there. Now I only put a glue dot on this side and this side because I'm gonna tuck some of the other pieces in here. So let's see, I'll tuck maybe, I don't mind if it comes above this a little bit. See if I do that one and that one, there we go. Again, I wanna make sure I get some of that golden color in there. Can. I don't think I need another one. I think I'll do this one underneath. So because, and the other reason, you know, these are both slippery because it's got the washi tape on it, and then this is kind of a slick surface because it's glossy. So that's the other reason why I'm thinking I want to use glue dots. I want that to go underneath, up above there, but under there. Under both. Each one is a little different, you know, so you kind of just play with it, keep moving it around until it looks the way you want it to. Okay, make sure that glue dot didn't get behind there. And then I'll put one more there. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oops, come back. One more under there. Well, I hope you're still sticking with me. And if you are, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And if you like what you see, it would be really great. It's very helpful if you would give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that this is content that's worth watching, and they'll show it to other people, which helps me in my business. And so if you would do that, that would be awesome. And then let's put some gems on there. What do you think? I have these. I don't know, I'm not sure. Not the pink, but let's see how the little purple ones look. If you want to see more of my videos, you can follow me. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm not as active on Facebook or YouTube as I used to be. It's just, I don't know, just haven't had the time. What do you think? Oh, I like those. I wasn't sure I was gonna want to put these on. They're a little bulky, so if you're mailing this, you probably want to use something a little flatter. But I like the way it kind of picks up the purple, and I just love gold and green together, no matter what. So there you go. And then I'm going to show you, I'm not going to do it, but I want to show you, oh, I did show you, yeah, on the card, on the envelope. Isn't that beautiful? So you could certainly do that same thing with more of these. Oh, and I know, there's one on the back. I want to put this one here. The little surprise. Let's do that. You know, I can't craft and talk at the same time. Have you noticed? I don't know how people do it. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, let's bring this aside. What do you think? Do you have a preference? The purple and green versus the kind of strawberry slush, flirty flamingo and gold. I don't know, I think if I was getting this in the mail, I think I'd be happy with either one, to tell you the truth. I have to stay down. Thanks again for joining me. My name is Linda Edwards. I'm with Crafty Heron Designs, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I'd love to help you to bring out your creativity. Bye for now.